extra cash in 2013. Sharon Epperson is CNBC's personal finance correspondent. Good morning.
Good morning, Erica.
Everybody's a little concerned about their paychecks, too, after all the wrangling we saw over the fiscal cliff in the last couple of days. The cliff was essentially avoided.
Yes.
But there could be some changes for folks. What do we need to look for?
Well, and people need to realize that the payroll tax holiday that they enjoyed is now over, and now they're going to see a 2% jump in the payroll tax. That's going to impact the typical American family that makes $50,000 a year by about $1,000. So you're going to see less in your take-home pay, so that is something that's going to happen.
So that could be yet another reason why some people may be looking for a little extra income.
Exactly.
In 2013. You have 5 great ideas for us. The first one is maybe cashing in some of those gift cards you got for Christmas.
Well, it's a great gift, right? But what if you really don't need, and you really don't want to shop anymore? You can actually cash in some of these gift cards. You can get up to 92% of the value of the gift card at a site like cardpool.com. Another one is plasticjungle.com. It's worth looking to see if you're not going to get anything from these retailers. Maybe you can get cash back, and it's a quick way to make a few extra dollars.
Like a little extra money. A part-time job could also be
a part-time job, working a couple extra hours a week at a part-time job. Snagajob.com. I've talked about it before. It's a great site to find hourly jobs, paid $10 to $11 an hour. And retail is still a big industry. Yes, the holidays are over, but they're still hiring. And also, of course, food services, customer service. All of those things are great for part-time jobs.
And you have something called TaskRabbit.com. What's that?
Well, that's a place where you list odd jobs. People list odd jobs that they may want. You bid on that odd job. The lowest bid, you get to do the job. So that's a way that you might actually make some extra money as well.
Very nice. And if you have a little hobby, you can actually make some money on it. Start your own online store.
Well, a lot of people, they go to Amazon.com or eBay, but I really like Etsy. It's a really interesting website. If you make jewelry, if you make crafts, if you have vintage goods to sell, and you can put your stuff on there, they give you a URL. You're basically creating your own online store, and it's a great way to sell stuff. It's a great way to get some products.
And it's a minimal cost for you, too, as the seller, right?
Exactly. You only pay a minimum amount for about 4 months to keep it on there, and that's something that you want to consider, of course, with all of these things, if there's a fee involved or how much money you actually make.
You definitely want to look into that one.
Yeah.
You can also sell your knowledge, as you say, especially if you're a teacher, maybe share your lesson plans for a fee.
People don't think, there are some really creative teachers out there with great lesson plans. You can put them on a site called Teachers Pay Teachers, and they will give you a sum for your lesson plan. Again, you have to look at what the perhaps service fee might be for some of these sites, but that's a great way to go. And another thing that you may want to think about is tutoring services. There are organizations like Peer-to-Peer, part of Aristotle Circle, that will match you with a tutor, and the tutors get paid an average of $12, $15 an hour to do tutoring. And then there's a great site called Udemy. It's now grown to about 500,000 people on this site that use this site, and you're able to put up your online classes, whatever you are an expert in, and you can do a video, put up your online class. That's another site to look into, and you can make some significant cash there.
And so people basically pay to take your class
Exactly.
online.
Exactly.
I never even knew that existed. There are also focus groups. I had a roommate who was obsessed with this one, and she made a lot of money doing it.
You can do it, and if you're near a college campus in particular, where they're always doing different research studies and such, that's a good way to look. But all you're really doing is sharing your opinion. You're getting paid for it. What could be better than doing something like that?
And how much are you making per focus group?
Well, it really depends on what the focus group is. It may only be a couple of dollars, but the thing to remember here is this is not a way to get rich quick, really. It's really a way to add a few extra dollars, and this is something that you may want to do, particularly because you're going to see your take-home pay cut here with the payroll tax increase. It's something to consider.
When you mentioned some of those part-time jobs, you mentioned retail, you mentioned food services, but what are some other industries that we could look to?
Well, healthcare, of course, is always growing. That's something that a lot of people are looking into, and they're also looking at personal care services. That's another industry that a lot of folks are interested in. And so when you look at these sites, again, figure out how much time you can spend per week, but it's a great way to earn some extra cash, a couple hours a week, not a full-time job, not a second job necessarily, but some way to do it. There's a lot more information on CNBC.com too about this.
Sharon. Thanks. Nice to see you this morning.
Sure, good to be here.